So BTC is busy falling over here, but what we can see is dominance on the weekly is still got a strong red candle. It's dumping, and obviously ETH is pumping. I need to know, anyone who said ETH was it wasn't gonna happen. There were so many haters out there, and ETH is finally coming to the party for us, guys. Isn't it just wonderful for us? Anyway, today, this is what I'm looking at. ETH, obviously, we're dealing with that. I've got SSV and ETH Play, ENS updates, OP, Lido, 𝗦𝗏𝗡𝗧, DYDX. I've got a Fetch setup. I've got a potential bonk setup, maybe, and some Phantom for you. And I've got a consolation setup for Litecoin, perhaps. So we're going to look at that. And then I actually got a few others in the bag. And I want to see your charts. It's Friday. Let's have some fun. So we're going to look at Banter Bubbles. I got Ray in the back. He's going to give me a thumbs up here. I feel like I was lagging a little bit there, Ray. Just let me know in the back there what's potting. Okay, so Banter Bubbles mixed bag there. We've just seen BTC dumping while I went live. It started falling over. Did I close my short too early that we took yesterday? I mean, that was fun yesterday. Might be a long time coming here for BTC just now. And then just take a look at these tokens. You can see these ETH guys. This ENS is still looking strong today. We got Optimism looking strong, Arbitrum, and then Sumi is also playing the game. So let's just see what's in the news here. We've got a bit of a mixed bag. We've got Jim Cramer calling the top of BTC. I mean, that's always, we like to counter trade this guy. So, maybe that's a bullish sign for us. But I know Run is a little bit bearish on this BTC ETF news, even though, they're trying to hype it here in Bitcoin Magazine about the volume and all these types of things. But I think it was a bit underwhelming from what I understand. And, it let a lot of people down. And then we've got our friend Capo the Bear. He's talking about one more pump perhaps for BTC. He's looking at 50K. And then he's eyeing out some nice lows there, 30 to 31. So that's pretty deep for Capo. So look, at some point, you're going to be right. If you're permanently calling a short, at some point you are going to get it right. How deep it's going to go, we don't know yet. But yeah, maybe he's going to get his thing. Yeah. So let's see how that goes. Then I've got just some comments here on this ETF. They're saying very low turnover for the IBIT ETF so far compared to where we were yesterday this time. So maybe things are slowing down. And again, remember, this was our narrative. This was the trade, that so much volume was going to come in. These guys were going to pump BTC. And what happened? It rejected. And you saw yesterday, it rejected perfectly at our area that we were looking at. And this guy, I found this quite funny. James on Stratton, he says, congrats to the BTC lettuce hands. So this is actually just a comment on a lot of the short-term holders. It seems it's a new record for them that they came in and they quickly sold their BTC. So not much hodl going on here for the old lettuce fingers. So that is quite an interesting one. A lot of traders there just taking some profits. And now, guys, you know the drill. I mean, we've switched over to ETH. So let me know in the chats. I need actually a list of all these influencers that said ETH was dead. It was never coming back. And here these guys are, the BlackRock boys, firing it up, and everyone is all over ETH. And I see it did hit $2,700 just now. And is this party going to continue for us throughout the weekend? We're gonna have to wait and see. So again, I mean, you can go through Twitter; it's all over the place. It's all about ETH. I'm not going to bore you too much, but it was interesting on the 11th of January. Now, you guys know I've been calling this ETH situation for a couple of weeks now, but on the 11th of January I tweeted, you guys must follow me on Twitter, by the way, at the Lord of Entry. I tweeted my target for ETH is 3,500. Then I saw old Crypto Burb, he came up today. He came out finally with an ETH target. He's looking at $3,400. And then we've got another trader on Twitter, Jack is, and he's looking at 4,000 for Ethereum. So the boys are bullish. The boys are loading up here. The boys are getting very bullish on ETH at the moment. So hopefully it's going to be sustainable for us. And we're going to look at these levels today on ETH and just make sure if we do get some kind of flush out that we are going to get the results we want. So let's start with BTC. Like I said, I'm not taking away this drawing until proven otherwise. But we did get on the weekly, BTC weekly, how perfect was the 618 rejection here at 48K. I said we were going to get it. I've been telling you guys, I don't know, Ray, how long have I been talking about this? Probably since November. I've been talking about this rejection, and we nailed it. And here it comes back. Now, remember, it's nothing to panic about yet, because you can see I've got a nice little flag drawn out here on the weekly. And at the moment, it could be just a nice little retest of this flag before we push up maybe for one more look at this 48K to 50K region. If not, and things start getting a little bit sad here, my levels for BTC, again, I remind you, we're looking at 38 to 37. And then lower down, when the days are dark, when we are hating our lives, we're looking at 33,000 down to about 32.5. And then the darkest place I can take you guys is that 30 to 31K. And it's a legit level. It's a strong level. I mean, we know BTC is bouncing there. That's when you sell the wife and you start buying some BTC, when it pings the 200-week MA, the 200-day MA, these massive weekly levels, and the rising weekly trend. I'm telling you, if we do get down there and things get so filthy that we are hating life, just make sure you have a little bit of dry powder there at 31K and at least a 50x leverage ready to send BTC back up. So those are the levels I'm watching. I guarantee you I'll be 50x long from that 30 to 3100 level. And yeah, I mean, if we see it. Okay, BTC right now on the 2 hour. It's hitting my short target from yesterday, Ray. I closed this thing too early. Now we are dipping into our area right now. So this is our first area of interest for BTC for the day. This is now 44,600, 44,700. This is our first horizontal that we want to look at. And then we're tracking lower. I mean, then our next big zone. It might be interesting today if we get a little capitulation here on BTC, but you can see I've got a nice juicy zone over here at the moment on these horizontals. We've got the 2 hour horizontals. I've got a trend. I've got a 50-day MA pushing up here as well. So that is a big area of interest. Let's just see if we've got a fib to tie in with that. I just want to pull a fib from the low of that move to the high. Okay, so we got a 618, a little bit above that zone, but I like this zone for any move. So if we don't bounce right here on this horizontal, 44,600 to 44,700, next area for me, 43,600, and then the 50-day MA trend and horizontal retest, 43K. So that is what I'm loving for today. Crypto Banter says, didn't Ray say 44,400? Look, Ray, we're not at 44,400 yet, eh? Hold on. We're hitting our horizontal here. We're hitting our horizontal. Okay, so guys, these are the areas we're watching. If we get a nice strong bounce here, we should see these alts now start reacting off their various areas. Okay, let's get into the juice. BTC dominance, this is my only concern. Okay, so alt traders, you know what goes on here. When this dominance is dropping, these alts are pumping, we're getting euphoric, we get happy, and it's been a nice move for these alts. Look how this dominance is dumping while BTC is dumping. That is always a beautiful sign for these altcoins. This helps you relax a little bit when we do have some kind of pullback, but I want to caution you right now, we are moving into a major weekly support zone now. We've got the 618, we've got the 200-day MA, we've got weekly support here on the dominance. So the chart is telling me we could get some kind of dominance reaction here and a bounce. And what I was saying earlier today, if we do get this dominant bounce, we wanted to tie in with the BTC bounce. We don't want to see BTC dumping like it is right now with this dominance bouncing off the support area, because all the work we've done on these altcoins, including DYDX. I see DJK is talking about DYDX. All that work is going to get flushed out. We're going to get absolutely rinsed here. So eyes on this level now for dominance. We're watching 200-day MA horizontals here, weekly horizontals 618. So big area. Okay, let's get into the juice. ETH BTC. Now, this was a big one for us. This is massive areas getting broken through here, and you can see it's showing in this dominance that is starting to drop. The guys are piling into ETH at the moment, and things are looking quite hot here on this ETH BTC chart, and there's an 83% move coming here potentially if this is going to play out. So we're looking for the support to hold now on this break. And, you know, the upside target, our 83% move, forgive me, our 83% move was from these lows. This is 45% move that we're looking at. So support for me right now for ETH, BTC. This is what we want to see hold now for the ETH bulls. We want to see this 200-week MA hold here. We want to see the 200-day MA hold. We want to see the horizontal hold and trend. It's a massive area. It's really a big area here. So if we can push this up a little bit, get some kind of support here, then I think we're firing on ETH, and it's going to play out nicely into a lot of these other ETH projects and things. And who knows, maybe some of these ETH NFTs might even come back to life with all the excitement. So let's see how that goes. But look, finally, it's been a bleed out since the 5th of September 2022. We hit the top, ETH BTC, and we finally bled out, and we're finally getting maybe a trend break here. And, maybe we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. Okay, let's see. I see some traders in the chats here. They're taking longs on BTC, all these things. Okay, maybe we have bounced in our good area. Yeah, look, guys, it's a horizontal zone. The scalpers, this is your stuff. Scalpers, if you want to look for longs there, go for it. Okay, some ETH trades I'm looking at for this weekend. We've got Arbitrum pushing all-time highs here. I've broken it down to the 1 hour for the DGens here. I mean, there's no point showing you a weekly chart with one thick bar going up with nothing else to work with. So what I've got here, if you want to be part of this Arbitrum trade and you want a piece of this, we need to scalp. We need to get a little bit dirty here. This is the 1 hour that we're looking at right now. So you can see what's happened here today. Arbitrum did give us a little trend break, and now scalpers, this is what you're looking at. You're trying to identify some areas where you can snag a little entry here. If this bullish momentum is going to continue. And the way I like to do it is to pull a couple of fibs. I like to tie them in with horizontals. I like to tie them in with trends, moving averages, and all those types of things. And when you're dialing in, this is the only way you can really go about things as a scalper. So what I'm looking at here right now, for me, for Arbitrum, if you're trying to snag some entries, juicy zone 618. Okay, the juicy zone 2.23, number one, and the current area here 382. Okay, now this is degen stuff. This is 1 hour party that we're looking at, guys. So just understand what you're dealing with here. 382 support. Okay, so 2.3, 2.23. These are scalper zones right now for you for Arbitrum, possible entries, and then your main support for this particular picture you're looking at. This is the 1 hour chart. Your main support 2.12. Okay, so these are all areas of interest here. All these areas can be potentially bullish areas here for Arbitrum. Even if we do get some kind of mini flush out here, these are all potential hot zones for me for Arbitrum, for the Arbitrum bulls. So these are the levels you want to watch if you want a piece of this trade. And again, this is ETH narrative stuff. So ETH and friends, ETH strength is going to point us to things like this. It's going to point us to things like optimism as well. We've now smashed our TP1 on the optimism trade we gave in the Sniper Club 2-3 days ago. That TP1 has been smashed, and we are now looking at attacking our TP2 area. I've drawn up a little clean chart for you guys here today, and very notable on this ETH strength that we've just seen, we've broken a nice little 4 hour range high here for optimism. So we might have another potential move coming. So what I want to suggest here, again, support that you need to watch for optimism. This is your strong support zone for optimism traders, 3.75. This is your strong area. You can see I've got a nice little cluster here. I've got a 382 as well. So if we get some kind of deeper pullback here, this is where you want to be, 3.75, 3.76, and then your backup area, optimism traders, 3.44. That is your next hot zone that you're looking at. So anything in these areas could be still potentially bullish here for this optimism play. But I tell you what, if ETH starts blowing up this weekend, these things are going to start moving with it. They're going to get pumped hard. Here's another one, SSV. Again, I mean, you've seen this on my show during the week. This has been a wonderful trade for all of us that were involved in this SSV. And again, maybe another scalp that we can play with right now. So we've had a little trend break. We've had a little test of these highs. They pushed and they broke through these highs. Now what we want to do, if this momentum is going to continue for us on SSV, we are looking for a trend retest. We want to see if it ties in with some fibs and that type of thing, and just try and find some kind of region of interest where we can grab our entries for a potential move now this weekend. So this is what I've got here for SSV. 36.5. That is a hot zone here. This is a potential trend retest here on a 618. And then our next scalper zone, remember guys, these are the 1 hour candles. Okay, we're not dealing with weeklies here. Then your next support here, 34.7. Okay, so these are my 2 hot zones. If we do get some kind of flush out to this 382 level at 34.7, we're looking at a little move to the range high of about 11% at least. But then again, once again, are we playing the bull vibes this weekend on ETH and friends? I'm expecting a lot bigger things here. Okay, let's see who is in the chats here. Who's hanging out? Leroy says IMX is strong. Yanko's longing BTC. Don Leon says he just got arrested for assault battery on the like button. Well, at least he's smashing those likes. I mean, that's cool. Anita says, why is AVAX dying? Yeah, AVAX is probably bleeding out because all the interest is in ETH, and we have also just witnessed a monumental dump there on BTC. So there could be a lot of things happening right now. Let's see, DSX asking about Algo. Reeve said he missed run show to join Dylan's live. Well, welcome. Yeah, we're here for trades. We're here for setups. Progressive Martian says, why are we dumping? I think it's disappointment in the BTC ETF. It wasn't as bullish as everybody thought it was going to be. So now we've jumped onto the ETH narrative, and we've seen ETH absolutely ripping. So let's hopefully that's going to continue for us. Let's see what else we got. Brian says he's long ETC, SKL, that's a good one. SIN, Christian's long GRT, or he's looking for GRT. That was a nice trade we gave on GRT recently. That was a good mover. I think Lux Algo was even giving us a signal that it was printing along there. Let's take a look at dominance one more time before we jump into the next alts. Okay, so we're all good still. So far, so good. We haven't had a mega bounce here on dominance. This is the weekly, but we are approaching a zone where this dominant bounces and BTC is flat or dumping. We could feel a little bit of alt pain here, guys. Okay, let's go to Lido. This is my next one for you guys, and a nice little neat setup here for the 1 hour traders. I've got a little Lido weekend potential setup here. Right now we have pinged a horizontal resistance zone, so we can see that we've got resistance here on Lido at 3.8. Okay, that's clear for us. And what we're looking for now is short-term bounce areas. If this move's going to continue, we want to see a bullish bounce here. So we've got a little trend break on the 1 hour, and we're looking for a bounce. We want to see scalp traders 3.72, 3.64, and then your main support is your horizontal. You can see they've pinged this now a couple of times, so we know clear as day now. If we lose this 3.55 level and the candle starts closing underneath this, we know we are potentially in for some pain, and we're looking at 325 as our next area. So again, bulls, we just want to hold 3.55, 3.5 to 3.55. We want to hold that area. We start losing that, then the pain train. We're looking at 3.25, and it's a bleed out. So for me, I actually am in a Lido position currently. If we lose that area, I'm bailing, and I'll sit on the sidelines and we'll wait. We'll see what we get at the 618. We'll wait and see what happens lower down. MD says EGLD is looking good. Let's see what else. Dutchy says Sui is strong. Bkashi says dominance going to dump. Well, I mean, that would be beautiful if dominance really starts dumping for us. It's on a big level right now, this dominance, so we really want it to flush out there. Okay, let's look at ENS. This was another good one. Who got this ENS trade yesterday, guys? I took a scalp this morning on that 236 fib that I gave you guys yesterday. Remember, ENS pumped into this weekly horizontal, and we had this little 236 fib sitting here for you guys. At the time, I had this 236 sitting here for you guys, tied in with this horizontal here. And this morning, it was absolute perfection. It came down, it dropped onto this 236 and the weekly, and it was just screaming entry. And it's now sent itself up. And look, it's fighting a current resistance zone, but I might have a scalper set up for you guys right now. So ENS, and again, we play the same game. When these things are super bullish, what we do we just confirmed they're in a rising trend, and we can't get too bearish on these things until we start closing under this trend and we start losing this trend. So the bulls, if something is bullish like this, you just play this rising trend. You can see what's going on here. We had resistance. They played around this area, okay, and now they're currently testing this 382 and horizontal support area. And our next zone we're going to look for, we're looking at the 618. You can see it here clearly on trend 23. And then we're looking at horizontal here at 22.3. Okay, so these are hot zones for us. I'm only bearish on this token. If we lose this trend, we get that little bounce and we close underneath that trend, that's when we can turn bearish on ENS, and that's when we can start looking at levels lower down. But right now, nothing to panic about until we've closed that potential trend. So again, could be a nice little entry brewing here for ENS. So I'm watching right now. If we don't hold this level, we're looking at about 23, and then we're looking at 22.3 for ENS. So eyes on that guy. See, request for render, and Anthony wants bonk. Anthony, I might have a bonk. I might have a bonk set up round 2. Might. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's do a BTC update quickly. Okay, still okay. Not ideal. Looks like it's putting pressure on that. We might be at raise 44,400 there. Okay, dominance still looks okay for now. Let's look at Matic. Okay, also looking good. Looking good here, Matic. So what we like about Matic, again, little bullish pullback, and we're looking for first bounce area for Matic. So Matic traders, you want to play the ETH narrative game, 0.88. That is a hot zone here for us. So call it anything from 0.89 down to 0.88. These could be nice little buy zones for Matic. And this is the 8-hour, guys. So this is much bigger picture stuff. And then I have a really nice strong zone here for Matic. I've got a 50-day MA. I've got horizontals. I've got a 618 fib as well for you on Matic. This is a nice hot zone, 0.85. I really like this zone. And then if things get really bad for us, we know what's happening. They're sending us lower. We're looking at 79 and we're looking at 74. But we don't need to worry about that just yet. We go level by level. These are 2 hot zones. These are potential areas for you that you could get an entry. You could ladder in potentially to both of these areas. If you believe this market's going to be bullish, these are your hot zones where you want to be buying. And that's where you can start building your position. And then once we break that trend and retest, we can always add to these things and really fire them up. Okay, let's see what else we got. Questions for Mover. Let's see, Let's see what else we got. Soul's looking at Phantom. Okay, let's see what else we got here. DYDX. Okay, we gave a little entry yesterday on DYDX. Guys, let me know. Did you get that? Did you get that DYDX we gave you yesterday? We broke that little trend. We had a little 382 retest. And let's just dial in a little bit here. So DYDX has been quite good to us. You know, if you play the story, whenever we get these trades, we get these meltdowns into areas, then everyone panics. We end up landing on a solid support region where we may or may not find support and start leveling out. And that's where we start building our first entries. And this is what we got here on DYDX. They gifted this to us. They gave us a massive size fib pool. They gave us good horizontals. They gave us the 200-day. We knew this was a big area for us, and we started building positions here on DYDX, and then that frees you up. Then you play the game. You play the original buy and you push it up. Then you can play the trend break game. Then you can play your secondary entry game as you go along. So this is where we are at DYDX. If you are looking for entries on DYDX, guys, again, you're a little bit late here. The best entries, again, I spoke about yesterday, is when we're sweating, when we're hating crypto. Those are our best entries. Right now, if you're looking for another entry, it's a secondary entry. So what I can give you, DYDX traders, okay, we do have a major trend ahead of us at 3. So there's a lot of work for DYDX to do. And if it's going to turn bullish, there's a whole story that is still going to play out here for DYDX. So you haven't really missed anything. If this trade is going to continue, there's a lot to play out here still for DYDX. But what I can give you now is current support areas that are of interest to me. And what I've got here, 2.75. This is your first horizontal and 236 fib region. Then I've got 2.66 that could play out for you, and then it's still bullish, but 2.52. Don't really want to see something that dark. Who's this guy asking for the ticker for my beard? What's going on here? Yeah, guys, you give me a ticker for my beard. We'll figure it out. Okay, so these are your hot zones that you want to watch for DYDX, 2.65, 2.66, and then you've got just above 2.5. Call it 2.52, that sort of region. Then we should be okay if we do hold that. Okay, Tony's asking about Sol. Let's see what else we got here. 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗢𝗙, is that? Don says my beard is bullish. My beard is bullish, guys. I really look after this beard. I'm not going to lie. I keep it nice and neat for you guys. Okay, let's look at my next setup that I've got for you. Right, we got Fetch. Oh, here we go. A little bit of a dump here on Fetch. So this is a trade that I took earlier, and I gave it on the Sniper Club. So we had a nice little scalp potentially playing out here on Fetch, and they gave us a little pump. Little move this morning, about 4.5%, and I see they're pushing down, and they haven't stopped us yet. Okay, this is so right now Fetch is in our entry box. If you're brave enough to have a go here, it is sitting in our entry box here. So exits under 0.6880. That is the tightest stop you can get. The trade we gave on Sniper Club was 2 entry boxes. The reason we gave 2 entry boxes is we want to cater for any flush outs or any pullbacks that might have come this afternoon. So the strategy here on Fetch is to buy a little bit of entry box 1, and you know, if you're a scalper, that's where you're going to stop out. But if you're looking for a ladder in trade, the suggestion was buy an entry box 1, first position, second position in entry box 2, and bring that average entry down, and then you can play that trade. So that is the plan there for Fetch. So I got my first entry in Fetch right now, and if you want to play this trade, this particular scalp trade, you can jump out at 0.688 if you get a close underneath that, or you can play the strategy that I've just told you about and see if we get that flush to that 50-day MA and 618. So I like that area here. We could get a reaction. Again, we're going to have to see how BTC and the market in general is looking. But anything in that area, the 618 area to the 50-day MA, is another nice hot zone for me. And yeah, there was some good news on Fetch a couple of days ago. We saw some Mark Zuckerberg story. If the fundamental guys want to comment there in the chats as to what the play was there. But yeah, there was some good information there on Fetch. Okay, another one I got for you, Link update. Again, we're still floating. Link traders, we're still floating around our TP1 that we did that we gave yesterday. So this is still a hot zone here. It's playing the 50-day MA, so no changes here right now for me other than support that I can give you guys. And you can see with this dump going on, Link is still holding these areas. These alts are looking okay so far, and 14.66, that's an area of interest here for support that you want to look at. So anything in that area for me looks like okay support now for Link. So we are holding, and the next level that you want to look at, if we do get some kind of flush out here, 14.17. So Link traders, you are fine. TP target 16. That is what we're looking at. So remember, little flush out play 618. You're looking at about 14.2. Upside, you're looking at 16 currently for Link, but that is still part of the original trade that we gave. So there might be a little scalp here left in the tank. Jeez, I've got a lot of setups for you guys. Wow. Okay, let's see what else we got. And Anita says this market is disappointing now. Guys, it was the hype. We were buying the hype. We were trading this BTC hype for 4 months. You know, it was bound to end up in some kind of disappointment. I'm just happy ETH started ripping like that. You know, that was a great result for us, especially for the guys that have been backing ETH and being in and out waiting for this ETH move. At least we finally got it. Melanie's asking about ZIL. Melanie, I'm still sitting in my ZIL trade. There's no changes there. We still long and strong there on ZIL. Let's see what else we got here. Eric says 100x the beard. I agree. We should 100x this beard. Okay, let's see. Here's Phantom. Here's a little setup here on Phantom. Again, could be an amazing entry playing out right now, okay, with minimal risk in this trade. So what we got is a 382. I've got a 50-day MA. I've got horizontals in play as well. And we got a nice clean exit. So if we fail here and we start closing out under 0.4, then for me, that is an exit. And then we can look for lower. So if we start getting something along these lines and this candle closes underneath, we're out of this trade and we're looking for our next bounce on Phantom at around about 0.34 to 0.35. But right now, Phantom is in my 382 50-day MA horizontal potential buy box here. So for the scalpers that want to jump in, that's where you can get it. Live speaker ticker incredibly bullish. What does that even mean? Can someone tell me what this means? Okay, let's see. CRV, there's questions for CRV. So we dealt with CRV yesterday. There was a bit of FUD around CRV and debts and all these type of things. But CRV on the weekly chart looks very interesting. It really does look interesting to me. I'm not going to lie. It's something I keep checking in on. And I see today with this ETH move, it was getting a little bit of momentum, and it was doing actually okay. Okay, Eric says futures ETFs coming for XRP and SOL. I mean, that XRP, that's a little bit ridiculous. Victor's asking about BCH. So guys, believe it or not, that BCH finally started moving for us and gave us, I think it gave us about 25%. But what I want to show you guys first, Bonk might be coming into our area. Okay, so remember guys, we traded Bonk zone 1. Bonk was our first entry again. It was our bearish entry when we were hating life. We got this Bonk entry. I think we got about I think it was about a 40% move we got there. We got on Bonk. So let's see. Yeah, we got about a 42% to that original high, but they actually sent us higher. They gave us 68%. So very kind of the Bonk guys there to give us a move like that. And I think if Bonk is going to go again, I'd like to see it hold this 50-day MA and 618. I'm really liking the look of this area here at multiple zeros, 1264. Okay, and you can see why this is an area of interest. We've got horizontal supports here, horizontal resistance, horizontal support. They tested it twice. Then we've got the 618 pull, and we've got the 50-day MA. So potential entry for Bonk on its way, multiple zeros. Call it 126 to 127. Anywhere in that sort of area could be a nice little bullish pullback there on Bonk. Nice little bounce off a 50-day MA. Nothing wrong with that. And if we do lose that level, we know we've got big support here for Bonk in this region here. So is anything at around about multiple zeros, 10, is a big support zone here for Bonk. So I would expect some kind of bounce or some kind of reaction in that area if we do start losing that 50-day MA. So anyway, nice look here on Bonk breaking that 50-day MA. I see Chris is in the chats asking for CFX. Well, guys, I've got it locked and loaded here for you. It's on the tip of my tongue. There might be something happening here for CFX. And okay, let me know what else you guys are trading here. I want to know what you guys are trading. I don't want to know what charts you want. I got tons of charts for you. Tell me what you guys are trading, and let's see. Maybe we can get a little entry on one of your charts that you guys are looking at. Let's see. Matt is trading near. Jungle Boy is trading DOT. Super. I looked at Super earlier. Okay, I did look at Super earlier, guys. We had a trend break on Super. I was asked in Sniper Club to take a look at Super earlier. I actually deleted it now, but we had it. I'll put it up just now. But Super fans, we did have a trend break on Super, and there was some horizontal support of interest. Okay, what I've got now, unconfirmed, but I think CFX will pump in about 20 days for several reasons. It says Mr. Pip, PhD, with a lot of Chinese in the name. Okay, so you know, Chinese New Year on its way. CFX is a Chinese token. You heard it here from me last week. Okay, we spoke about CFX. It was sitting on massive weekly support. I think it was sitting on the 200-day MA. We gave you that CFX long. Here it is on the weekly. Okay, what did it do? It bounced 200-day MA, it bounced 100-day MA, it bounced weekly support. Okay, so we knew that this was going to be a hot zone for us on CFX, and we dipped into it. And what did we do? We got our reaction that we wanted there. So what I'm going to say here, CFX, yes, potential Chinese New Year trade coming. And for those of you that missed that show that I spoke about it, you can see I highlighted these areas. The last time we had Chinese New Year in 2022, pumped 90%. In 2023, it pumped 200%. and now we are pushing into Chinese New Year. We've now got somebody on Twitter starting to talk about it as well. And, if you didn't get your entry last time, when I told you guys we're looking for entries here, maybe you need to start looking for potential CFX entry in anticipation of, obviously it's very speculative, but in the anticipation of a Chinese New Year pump, including my shitcoin Fufu that I bought, in anticipation of Chinese New Year. So, these are my two plays for Chinese New Year. It's Fufu and it's CFX. And you can see what they've done here. CFX, little trend break. This is CFX on the 4 hour. And again, best entries are lower down. They're at the lows when we're feeling bearish. Next best entries, break of trends, retest, can often give us what we want. So here we are. CFX broke trend, came back, retested. What do we have so far? We've got 50-day MA, we've got 382, and we've got some horizontal and trend support. So that is an area of interest for me for CFX. So 0.185 is a potential bounce zone, potential hot zone. Anything down to this 50-day MA that you can see here for CFX. So the bulls, we're looking for some kind of bounce in this area, something along these lines, if we're going to have a nice little green weekend. Otherwise, here's your next potential bounce area. Okay, less exciting, obviously, but that is a potential reaction zone that we're going to get there. So 0.1774 is another potential reaction zone, and you can see we keep it really simple. We got the 618 fib, we've got some horizontals tying in with it, confirming that it's going to give us some kind of reaction when it gets there. And if this market's going to stay bullish, these are the places you're looking for these reactions. These are the places you're looking for these bounces. If the market's going to turn bearish, well, it's going to just rip through them, and then it's going to go send and look for your strong weekly reaction zones. And that's where you got to do most of your hunting. Always the best entries, guys. Big, thick weekly zones, 200-day MA, 100-day MA, 50-day MA. These all help us establish some good entries. Okay, let's see what else we got here. What is green tea, Don Leon? What is green tea, bro? Peter Buller says, anyone else put 1K into 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗢𝗙? What is 𝗘𝗫𝗖𝗢𝗙, bro? Sounds like a very smart dog. I agree. Be you the fool you. I agree. We need to look at Myro. It's definitely been neglected. Another Solana meme coin. Something we need to deal with. Okay, and then I wanted to bring something old back for you guys. VET. Okay, we can see we're getting a little meltdown here on these altcoins. They're not happy. Okay, these alts are not happy right now. We need to check in with BTC shortly. But I just wanted to bring something old school. I mean, VET is very old school for me. It was one of the first these altcoins that we were trading. And I mean, it's dripping down now into an interesting zone. This is 8-hour stuff. So an area I'm looking at for VET for a potential bounce here, 0.031 is a possible zone here. That you might be able to grab some VET here if you're interested in that. And look, VET has been also battered and bruised for so long. We can zoom out and look on this weekly, and you can see why this is starting to look potentially interesting here to us. If we can get some kind of entry here, I can see a little bit of upside coming, especially to this little juicy zone up here where we've got the 200-week MA up at about 44 to 45 here on VET. So if it's going to go, we're looking for this trend break. As you can see, here's this little trend that I had on the 8-hour. So if we do get that 8-hour trend break, then we're starting to look at some much bigger upside targets. So what I would suggest for now, though, is we got to watch our current bullish areas. If we're not holding these bullish areas, then we need to pull the plug and then look back again later when things settle. So what I would say here on VET, let's just zoom in again. I'm getting some lag here. Just give me a minute here. Okay, so what I would suggest here for VET, if we zoom in, if we start losing the 618 and horizontal zone, we've also got a 50-day MA backup. That is potentially going to be a little bit bearish for us. So if we start drifting and we start dipping lower than this and we start losing this area, then we're not looking very good. Then we're potentially feeling a little bit sad. So what we really want to see as bulls here for VET, we let the market sweat, let the market have a flush out. Nothing wrong with that. Let's get this little bleed out. Let's see if we can get our entries here. 618 horizontal. Then we're looking for these type of reactions. And that could potentially then help us go a little bit higher there. Guys, I forgot to talk to you about Doge yesterday. I introed it in my show. I had a Doge short set up, and we got so tied up with shorting BTC yesterday that I forgot to talk about Doge. Let's see. Somebody was asking you for Doge. Who was asking for Doge in the chats? Okay, I got to do Myro and Doge for you guys. I owe you guys that. And then I got a Constellation Litecoin set up here for you. Okay, so this is what we're looking for in Litecoin. So Litecoin bulls. This is what you want. Right now, Litecoin is broken. The 50-day MA, it's broken. The 200-day MA, it's stuck its head through. And fine, granted, it's getting a little bit of a pullback here now. But what we want to see, firstly, as bulls, what we want to see hold. We want to see it hold some kind of fib pool here, tied in with a moving average and some horizontals. So the first most bullish one that we've got here is the 236, tied in with a 200-day MA and horizontal. So 73, okay, looks like an interesting place here for Litecoin. Again, we're going to watch BTC. We've got to make sure we're getting a reversal before we start jumping in here on these altcoins. But I like the 73 region. And then lower down, I've got a 50-day MA and some horizontals as well at around about 71. So that is another area of interest for Litecoin. Obviously, we need to tie this in with BTC tied in to another horizontal. We need to know that BTC is going to give us a reversal first before we can jump in. And right now, you can see BTC is really stretching the limits here on this current horizontal area. So we might have to wait on some of these altcoins to let BTC just drift a little bit lower and give us some kind of reaction at the 618 here or at this 43,000 level. So let's just be patient here. Again, we're going to tie in our alts with dominance and with the way BTC is going to react at the next level. So let's see how we go here. Okay, in the meantime, let's pull up some Myro. When you're ready. Okay, Myro obviously still ripping. I mean, I see you guys in the chats always telling me about Myro, and I think we've only looked at it once here. Okay, so still looking good here. This thing, never understand why these meme coins pump, but they do their thing. Let's see what tie-ins we can have. Let's try and establish some interesting levels. You can see we did speak about this. This must have been a couple of days back. This was Monday. I think we dealt with this. Okay, so there we go. There's our first area of interest. Let's get our next one tied in. So again, when you're looking at these type of things, you're trying to find an area where you get thick horizontal touches and reactions and things like that. And you can see we've got a nice little range high here that you can form here on Myro. Again, so this is going to be the basis of our first support area we want to watch. Then we're looking for some potential fib pullback areas. Ideally, you want to see where they tie in. Okay, that's quite hot for me. And that's a hot zone. So what I've got here for Myro, hopefully there's no leverage on this guy because I've got a feeling this is going to be volatile as hell. So guys, you got to play this one safe. Myro potential areas where you could grab an entry: 0.1, 0.085. Okay, both look fairly decent here to me. This is my preferred one. So if we do get that move, we're looking at something along those lines. That's the ideal scenario here on Myro. And again, that's just holding the top. So we had that range, high. We broke out of the range. We want to retest that horizontal support tied in with a 618 fib. And that could give us a nice little entry. So Myro traders, that's where you want to be. That could be a juicy entry. And then your next level, it's so far down. Wow, this is far. 0.058. That's pretty deep. Okay, let's go. J-Dog says ENS is killing it. Yeah, ENS has been ripping, guys. Let's see what else we got. Meme coin FUD on Sui. ENS, please. We've done EMS. Let's see. What are you? No, this Litecoin. Stop. Let it die. Guys, I know. You know what? We sat in this BCH. BCH, and it's finally actually blown up. And you never know, guys. We know this Litecoin can give you 30-40%. If you're not paying attention, it can give it to you. And just, keep your eyes on these good areas. One of our researchers today, for those of you that follow the newsroom, was actually saying the sign that BCH was pumping, Ethereum Classic, these types of things, it's not necessarily a good sign for the market. They always seem to be the last few kicks of a dying horse, basically, when these guys start pumping, and then sometimes we get a reversal there. So yeah, it's not always the best sign for the markets. Let's see what else here. Yes, so I've heard a lot of things, decent things on Filecoin again. Yeah, it's not lost to us, old Filecoin. It's going to have its day. Let's look at some Filecoin. I see we're getting a slight reversal here in the market. We must check in on that phantom entry there. I see Matic's getting a decent reversal so far. Let's see if we got a little healthy bounce here on Filecoin. Got mega lag here, guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, Filecoin, what do we get? So far, 382. Okay, so not looking too bad. It's got a 382 bounce. So we had our trend break, 382 bounce. And next bullish area for me, Filecoin, 5.7. So this current region here, 6 to 6.1 and 5.7, both bullish areas here, Filecoin. So nothing to get too stressed about here. Let's check in on BTC quickly. Just make sure the wheels haven't fallen off here. Okay, it's not the best looking recovery candle I've ever seen. I'm not going to lie. It looks like they might want to just go a little bit lower here. I think a lot of this is going to depend on some dominance here. Let's see the dominance. Okay, pressure on dominance. So dominance, as long as dominance is pushing down, then we can be less stressed. Okay, so remember the key: BTC is melting down and dominance is dumping. It always makes you feel better as an altcoin trader when that dominance is dumping, because the damage is slightly less than what it would be if dominance is pumping. Okay, so just remember that. There we go. Look how this dominance is dropping while BTC is dropping. That's always nice. Okay, but we need to see this reaction here. This is the 200-day MA. This is a massive fib pool. This is a weekly fib pool. I'm going to be very surprised if it doesn't react here and bounce. It's actually going to be, it's going to break my Fibonomics, actually. Don says, set your stop loss. Look, guys, yeah, when the market starts looking like this, things will get spicy, but we play what's in front of us. We play our areas, we play our good zones, and you know what traders do. You're wrong or you're rich, and that's how it works. If you don't take the entries when you're feeling so shit and so bearish, then you miss out on the best entries. If you're trying to buy tokens that are pumping always, it's not always going to work out in your favor. These best entries are moving. These best entries are got when we are feeling bearish. Okay, so 𝗦𝗚𝗘𝗧 says SEA is holding steady. Let's take a look at SEA quickly. Okay, so Lido's okay. It's holding. See what we got to say here. Let's say on the 1 hour. Okay, so there's a little bit of danger here for say. Let's take a look here on the 4 hour. Let's just get our heads around this guy quickly. Okay, so say for me, we are still in this rising trend. Okay, let's just clean this up for you guys. Rising trend for say. Okay, we've highlighted a mini trend here within this rising trend. Okay, that's cool. And yeah, we retest it. Okay, so say support for me for say 0.68. Okay, you can see this little error I put in here. This must have been yesterday. That is still a zone of interest. So this is a bounce zone for us, and that would just follow this exact same pattern that say has been producing for us while we've been going up. Okay, so 618 fib 0.68 for me for say still looks decent. And yeah, let's see how that goes. If we lose this area, okay, let's say we react up and we start closing underneath that area, then we're looking a bit sad for say, and then we're going to be setting buy orders here at 55 and those type of levels. Ampton says FET bounced on the 1 hour he's in. Let's see how that trade went there. Yeah, it's look, it's in the entry box, guys. So, you know, there's your game. There's your play. Let's look at the risk if you want to just play this trade, okay? So if you want to play this particular setup, your current risk is about 2%, okay? That's the price you pay for entry. That's the price you pay to go on the ride. And your upside, if this turns bullish, 25%. Short-term target, 10%. Okay, so the price you pay is 2%. For 10% to 25% worth of fun. You decide if that's going to work for you. Yeah, that's how you exit. You exit now under that dump candle. You exit under that low if it doesn't work out. Yanko says he's long on his weekend party. Guys, look, no one ever knows what's going to exactly happen. But that's what I always say to you. I like to get my entries in before the weekend. I don't like to trade on the weekend. That is dangerous. But if you get some kind of pre-weekend dump into some hot zones and you snag some good entries, then the weekends can sometimes be fun. But just make sure that you take profits on the weekends, because we've seen so many times that they'll pump your market or they'll dump your market and then they'll reverse all those gains. You know, by the end of the weekend, they come back and reset everything. So just keep that in mind. But, you know, snagging entries on a Friday for a weekend, nothing wrong with that. But just, you know, don't sit there on the couch trying to trade all Saturday, trying to trade all 15-minute levels and stuff. You're just going to get yourself smashed. Okay, who else have we got here? What is ARPA? Steve J wants some ARPA action. Never heard of this ARPA thing. Rashid wants some NEAR. We looked at NEAR yesterday. I think NEAR, we identified a couple of interesting NEAR levels. It wasn't the worst looking thing in the world. Let's see if we can do some NEAR. There goes OP again. Okay, so yeah, seems to be as you were. Now remember, this is what's happened now. OP has come back, it retested a horizontal, okay? Standard retest, and now it's firing again. Okay, so let me know, guys, if anybody got some entries there. What did we say we were looking at, Ray? What was I pulling out here? Doge. Need to cover this Doge. And NEAR. It's Doge and NEAR. Okay, so this was interesting. So this is this Doge that I actually spoke to you guys about it on my show yesterday. When I introed the show, I said, is Doge ready for a short? And we got tied up in that BTC short that I was taking, that I forgot to bring up the Doge chart. And we gave the short in Sniper Club. Okay, so that was under my charts and setups in Sniper Club. Guys, if you want to be part of Sniper Club, there is a link in the description. It's a paid service. You have access to my charts. You have access to the entire Sniper team's charts. Sheldon's obviously at Sniper Club. Sheldon's there. We're giving out signals. We're doing all sorts of things. We live zooming. Before I went on my show now, we were sitting in a private live session for the Sniper Club guys. And yeah, you know, nice little community we're building there. And I've got my own section, obviously, where I post my watch list of charts. So every day I wake up, I come to the office, I post my watch list of charts that I normally trade from, and I dump them in the Sniper Club for everybody to see. So there's a whole list of charts there that I do. And if I'm sitting at my desk scalping and doing all these type of things, I have a little section that's scalper trades and setup. So if I see a little 1 hour setup or whatever, I just dump it in there in the Sniper Club. You know, it's my charts become your charts, that type of thing. And yeah, so if you're interested, there is a link in the description. Get involved and come see what it's about. So here is this Doge short, and I'm going to take you through it. And unfortunately, I mean, we ended up shorting Bitcoin, but it would have been lovely to short this one too during the show yesterday. It just played out so perfectly. So this was what I was talking about with Say just now. For an example, we've had this rising trend on Doge for a very long time, and we lost the rising trend. And when you lose a rising trend, you always come and you look for a retest of that trend, the same way you would look for a retest of a bullish trend. If you've broken it. And what happened here with Doge is we got a pump into the 50-day MA, we got a pump into a 618 fib, and we got a pump into this horizontal region. So we knew, tied in with these with both these trend lines, we knew that this was going to be a very tough area for Doge to break, especially on the first time. So I'm not saying now it's not going to break this area, but as you can see, this is how you set up a long or a short. This is how you play the game. And you know, we waited a long time for Doge to hit this area, And remember that feeling when things are super bullish. You often don't feel like you can short something. You start feeling a little bit edgy about it. But as long as you trust your areas, the same way you trust them when there's a super dump into an area, when you're feeling super bearish, be aware of yourself. When you're feeling super bearish on good supports, you often get a nice long entry. And when you're feeling too bullish at good resistance zones, like we were yesterday, you saw yesterday, we shorted that BTC. And, you're feeling too bullish and you add a big resistance zone, then you generally want to be looking for shorts. So this is how you play these things. Now, again, for me to turn bullish again on Doge, we can play it the same way that we played these other tokens. You can see they've all got the same look to them. And we got to decide, are we now bullish on Doge or aren't we? And the way we're going to do that is we're going to look at supports. And if we're going to get a bounce off these supports, then the game starts changing. Okay, so then we need to reassess once we start breaking this trend. So what we're going to look at here, let's say we get a bounce here from Doge. Okay, if we break this trend, we're looking for a rejection at the 50-day MA. Then we want to see how that retest works, and then we're bullish again on Doge. But right now, we pinged that particular region of resistance, and now we're looking at downside and TP zones. If you were in that short, become our hot zones, our reaction areas. Okay, so your TP zone 1 would be that 382 there, for example, and your TP zone 2 could be that 618, and your TP zone 3 would be that 200-day MA lower down. These are all areas where we would expect some kind of bounce off Doge. So that's how you plan your shorts. Revved up biker says XRP is looking strong. No, really? Let's see. Okay, I see ENS, guys. Just a reminder, ENS on the 1 hour. Okay, holding horizontal for now. Okay, horizontal getting hold. Okay, let's just try and understand this XRP. No, he must be joking. Was he joking, Ray? Let's see. I mean, XRP is such a shit coin. Look at it. Look how these moving averages here are all colliding with one another. I mean, at some point we're going to get an explosive move. I just don't know, up or down. That's going to be, that's the eternal question. But look at these MAs here. They're all just kind of clustering together now. It's actually getting a bit stupid. Let's clean this XRP chart. Okay, so weekly traders, weekly candles, spot traders, things like that. If you like XRP, I mean, again, each to their own. XRP just annoys me in general. What do we have here? We've got support for XRP. We've got the 200-week MA, and we've got weekly support. So we can see that is clear for us that we've got this hot zone here. Okay, so XRP fans, there's your major weekly support. Okay, we know that. We've also backed up by the 200-week moving average. So that is interesting. So support for you, XRP guys, 0.55. And I mean, you can play that wick, 0.50. But I like the 0.55 as your support area. And this is a weekly play. So there is no rush here. You can see what's going on. We've got a lot of resistance in this area at 60. So you want to break this resistance first. Then you want to retest all these moving averages. Once we break through all these moving averages, then we know, okay, that's going to be a nice support base for us. And then we can take advantage of that. Don Leon says XRP moves like my grandpa. Well, basically, it's as old as a grandpa. I promise you, when I open XRP on my chart, literally dust starts falling out of my screen. It's the strangest thing. It's like somebody standing there with powder, throwing it over. It's so old. And remember, guys, grannies and grandpas do buy XRP because it's the first crypto they had on their apps and all these things. So don't forget about it. When they come back to buy crypto, they buy XRP and they buy Litecoin and all these type of things that were from 6, 7, 8 years ago. Remember, people come in for crypto. They try and make money. Then they get in the bull market. Then whatever happens, bear market comes, they get flushed out. But they only remember the coins that they were trading 8 years ago. They don't know what Say is. They don't know what Sui is. And fuck me, they don't know what Bonk is. They wouldn't even know. They'd be looking at something like Doge or whatever it is. And that's where they're going to go. Eric says, maybe I need to lessen my affinity for XRP. Eric, let it go, bro. Let XRP go. Oh, that's funny. No, literally, like I'm going to have to wipe the dust off my screen here after that. Guys, okay, that was great. We've used up an hour again just talking coins. Listen, you know, it's been a bullish couple of days. We've had some cracking trades here. If we get these entries and this actually plays out, I mean, it's going to be 3 or 4 days in a row of successful trades. I mean, it doesn't happen too often when you're trying to long a bullish market like this, where we're getting all these moves. So, you know, understand, like, let's read the room here. We've got ETH pumping, we've got ETH looking strong, we've got an ETH narrative at play. Maybe we're going to get some boost this weekend if we snag some of these entries. That could be good for us. But you know, underwhelming ETF things with BTC. I just want to look at this BTC chart again. Yeah, underwhelming ETF stuff with BTC. Maybe, you know, they're taking some profits, guys are selling, and again, we watch these key areas. So I'm looking right now, I'm just looking at my chart one more time here. Keep your eyes on this 43,600. Keep your eyes on 43,000. If those guys are bouncing there and dominance is playing ball for us, which I'm looking at now again one more time. Yeah, dominance is losing this 200-day MA. We might have a fun weekend, but again, remember, we've had multiple days in a row of green. At some point they want to come and just flush a little bit of things there. So just when you're trading, again, just risk management. Don't overtrade. Don't have 10 positions open now. Pick 1 or 2 of your best and you know, give it your best. And remember, weekend vibes, they like a bit of a round trip here. So if we get a green weekend, just make sure you're taking profits. And you know, if things fall over, make sure you guys are protecting yourselves. And you know the areas now where all the good zones where you can put your stops. Guys, enjoy your weekend. I'm out of here. This dominance is still dropping. Okay, cool. Guys, have a good weekend. See you later.